Good evening, we'll call this meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a roll call, please. Here.
Mrs. Minnie? Here. Mr. Platzer?
Here.
Mr. Apple?
Here.
Mrs. Trumbull here.
I would ask for a motion to accept our consent agenda for $117,419.15.
Okay, everybody needs to, I didn't get a chance to get your packets back. There was an error for approval on, you had 31714 for, I forget how much it was because I changed it. That was incorrect. It's for 32714 for $2,689.09. The amount you have is wrong. And then add in the $96,423.96, and then today's, which is $18,306.10, and that brought us to a total of $117,419.15. And I apologize for that. I didn't catch that till today after everybody had gone.
So.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Support.
We have a motion and support to accept the consent agenda for $117,419.15. Are there any questions or concerns? I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mr. Brada?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes.
Okay, citizens wishing to address the Board of Trustees. Hearing none,
Careful.
we will go for the approval of our agenda. And what we need to add under
Three things, actually.
three things, yes. Under the letter I, SWAT Tech.
What's H?
Oh, well, let's make that H.
Let's make that H.
Okay, I'm sorry.
SWAT. This, SWAT.
Okay, and under I, Jessica's Light's annual performance review.
And Maryland's.
Well, that would be under J.
And I'm gonna put that under J. Maryland's.
Can we put them at between 12 and 13 instead, because we usually go into closed session, don't we?
Well, we will.
Yeah, we'll go into closed
We'll
session.
just put
Well, yeah,
them
we-
on the agenda and then
Yeah,
go into it after. Yeah, that's how we usually look at it.
Okay. Okay. Departmental reports. Mark, Fire Department.
I got the packet for the SO rating, it's pretty extensive. Started going through it. It's something I think is got a very good chance of lowering our fire rating. What's going to involve you guys and the top DPW, myself, doing a bunch of stuff. We want to know what fire protection ordinance we follow. So we have to adopt the fire protection ordinance, and want to know who our fire inspectors are. We should, at this point, we don't have any. I do fire investigations, but not fire inspections. So there's some things that we'll have to address.
Okay.
So in this next 30 days, I want to
Get together
every
everybody.
second email today, he's going to get here and he wants to do it because he tries to do areas of the state that he doesn't, to travel all over. So
Okay.
I'll get that going. I'm going to drop the packet up to Dusty because he has to rate the fire hydrants, how many fire hydrants, how many are different size openings in the fire hydrants, what size mains are on the map of the water district, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know, it's just paperwork we have, we just got to put it all together. So I'll get that going. At our officers meeting on January 27th, we talked about making the chief's position an appointed position instead of an elected position. Not going through the election process and recommending elections to here. Right now, we hold elections. And then we come over here and say, could you appoint our elections? Well, also, we talked about making not going through the election process for the chief's position, because it becomes a popularity contest. You get somebody who's not qualified. I mean, a whole bunch of things can happen. And so I think I'm recommending to the officers, said the board, the officers meeting, that you guys need to make the fire chief position, just like you do your DPW position, just like you do all your other positions, should be appointed by you guys, not go through the election process. If you talk to almost any township, any more, even your risk management people, when I had a meeting with him, he asked if we were elected. And I had said, well, sort of, kinda, you guys appoint, and that was, it really wasn't in favor of that.
It's really not, it's really discouraged. But if you hold your election within your group and then bring it to us for approval.
But as a department head, we don't think that should happen. If you ask any other township, anywhere, I don't find any township anymore that hold elections for the fire chief. That position is done by the township.
So then would they be reviewed every year then?
Yes, and that was my next thing, is since I've been chief, I have never had an annual review as a department head, ever, and I think that should happen. You guys do, everybody else, you do your employees here. It's a chance for us to dialogue under executive session, on things you guys expect of me and things of how we can work together.
So then is there a time period, like if somebody else wants to apply, can they apply?
That's what you guys would have to decide what you want to do with that. Normally, I don't know if you want to do fiscal year or calendar year, however that works, it's whatever you guys normally do with all your employees, but I think that position should always be appointed. It's just, any of your county government meetings, ask around, and you won't probably find anybody who holds elections for the chief's position.
Yeah, I've been.
They're not supposed to be.
They're not supposed to be, and there's always just been another area, we've always just said, okay, you're re-elected, but, Caroline one year said, just make sure the letter you give to us doesn't say that we're elected. Well,
Recommended, or whatever.
yeah, so here I am changing the wording, because I'm trying to fall into the
Well,
guy.
that's-
I don't like doing that.
Isn't that what most of them do, though? Or-
No, almost nobody elects, I don't know, nobody elects the fire chief, that's a department head, just like the DPW, just like it's, all your other thing. I think that's, we're, at the office meeting, I guess, I thought Al was gonna bring it up together, so I think if you guys need to move towards that, appointing a fire chief without going through the body's elections. There's standards in our policy manual, what the qualifications are and all that kind of stuff. And I've been trying to move towards that. Our policy manual says that we've been trying to move, it's like turning a whole ship that's been in existence for 70 years. It's a different environment, different day and age than the old days.
They're also teaching that ever since I've been going to MTA conferences.
We got that at that meeting we went to last.
Yeah.
We did that one up
Yeah.
at Franklin with
Yeah.
G9 Kennel.
Yeah.
And they said that, but I just wanted, I guess, get official.
I'll be at a conference
thing.
this week, so I'll bring that up to all supervisors. See exactly.
And see, get some other paperwork,
Yeah.
how it happens and, what you guys would do, is it a 3-year cycle, is it, 1-year cycle, is it whatever you guys do, but, I think you guys need to move towards that.
Okay. We will take that.
And then somehow set up an annual review, which, is, I think, it should be, whether you change it or not. You need to be doing that, I think.
Okay.
Will you provide us with a job description then?
Yep, it's in our policy manual now.
It's in the policy.
I can pull that out of our stuff. I can give you that.
We'll pull it out.
Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay. Building department, Alan?
I don't, did we get a report? I know some building permits were issued, so. I don't think the report got in here.
Did I miss you?
I only saw one thing in the report, wasn't it?
Right, that's
Okay,
the
okay.
total for right now.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Right,
But,
okay.
there's some stuff happening. We do have one issue that's been going on over in the,
Like,
on the lake there, Washington, Lakeport Drive. The old Hills Resort, House Resort, and North Shore Resort. I mean, it's been a resort for
right,
50-plus years, probably more than that.
is it resolved?
I think it's resolved on our end, I'm not sure that the neighbors,
Well, I know that, but
and I know they're
I
coming in tomorrow.
mean, the question was the non-conforming.
It's not non-conforming, that is multiple dwelling property, and
But Al, as I said to Mike today, and I'd like to get into that, not here so much at another time, but non-conforming as in, are all the setbacks that are required? Are they-
setbacks are met according to the.
On that building?
On that whole complex.
Are they? Are you sure? I tried to look that up today and I couldn't really get, that's okay, I just wanted, I couldn't really get that definition that I wanted.
Well, I think with our zoning administrator, I think, as far as we're concerned, it's resolved.
It meets our requirements according to Mike Riley. At first, he didn't think it did, but he thought it was
He thought it was
residential R1A. He didn't realize that it was RM, the
Right.
multiple.
Right.
So that changed everything. He went back over Friday and went through it all.
Yeah, I was looking at
And he
that.
says that it's
I was looking at the
it's
RO.
okay, so.
But, Okay.
We can talk about more, but he did make a couple phone calls to Doug Tooman, so I don't know,
mhm.
if something when his bills come through, there'll be something about that.
Yeah.
Just so everybody's aware of it.
Okay.
Okay. Water department, did you notice if you walked in the door tonight, you saw the flushing hydrants, he's in the process of flushing hydrants right now. So, Jane, library?
We're getting to the time of year when we sometimes get extra people parking. I noticed the lady, she didn't stay long this morning, but do you want me to continue to use the letter on the windshield if we get people using the parking lot and not using the building?
Where are they going? What are they doing? Okay, so they use
They meet up, a lot of times, if I see them, they meet up with somebody else.
Yeah,
Okay,
At
so
the
they're
car.
using it
They're
as a
parking
day
there,
parking.
right.
Yes,
Oh,
right. Some days I've arrived and there's already been a vehicle there, actually,
Yeah,
that's.
we have that here too, but we have a little more room.
The only building issue is, for us, is that door on the new library storage area that we use for our programs.
He hasn't been back
Did he
yet?
get over there to look at that?
I haven't seen him.
He was
no.
contacted whether he got
Yeah.
there or not.
Yeah, no, and.
I don't know how
it's
busy he
just-
is, but.
He's extra busy right at the moment, but he's still, I mean, he's aware of it. I thought he would have been there by now. I'll call him
Yeah,
again.
because even, I don't know, that whole door thing there is just not done well. Even the plate on the back of the door handle is loose, like the screws didn't stay. I don't know. Nothing held together there. It's all pulled apart in different
Okay.
directions.
Well, it's a poor setup for one thing, it's, because we put that bar in there,
Yeah.
so you could take that bar out if you wanted to push a cart or something. I guess that's why that's there.
Right.
That bar doesn't come out of there permanently, right? I mean, you could
It's-
take that bar out.
It's attached to one of the doors.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you open as you're facing it, if you open the left door, it swings with
It
the
swings
door.
with the door.
But it's not staying nailed to the door even. I mean, the nails between the bar and the door now have probably a good half-inch gap. I don't know. Nothing is holding together there, and we're
Okay.
not quite sure why.
Well, we'll take a look at it when he gets there. If he happens to be over there, give us a call here at the office.
Okay.
I'll meet him over there. I don't know when he's gonna go.
Haven't seen anybody
We'll
from
give
the
him,
family.
we'll give him another call and find out.
That was all.
Is that it? Thank you. Moving on to unfinished business. Burtchville briefs.
Okay, well, I put a thing in everybody's box that I did a little survey on, because there was objection to mailing the Burtchville briefs out other than in the tax bills. So I did a survey of townships in the county. I didn't get every one of them, but I got a good portion of them. They all do mail their letters. 75% of them do not mail them with their tax bills because they said people contacted them, they missed them, they didn't see them, they don't read flyers within their tax bill, any utility bill. But the other thing was that they all use bulk mail. And so bulk rate, I was hearing prices as low as 15 cents by one. Now that's a smaller township. But everybody pretty much felt that no, it should go out on its own if you're gonna send out information. It's the way the township communicates with the public. And the other thing I heard was a lot of people in St. Clair County, and particularly in the townships I talked with, have primary senior citizens are a higher percentage of residents, and they don't have computers to read a lot of them, to read it online, I'm sorry, excuse me. So that was what I presented, and somewhere we have something from Jody too, but I can't find it right now.
Okay,
Right there.
if I might,
Right here it is, thank you. And I have a question on that one though, Jody.
okay.
I don't understand the cost of the first approximate cost and how many hours it takes to put it together compared to the rest of it. But anyway, maybe you want to explain all that.
Well, the first one is just what it costs and the hours that are spent in doing it.
But the hours seem to be much more if you do it biannually? Biannually? It's more than double. I don't get it. Okay, well
I don't
anyway.
understand what you're saying, but okay.
Okay, well, we just got it tonight, so I,
She wants to
I
know
just got
why.
yours tonight too.
No, what she's saying, Jody, is in the first one,
This says
it's 3 hours and a half hour to get copied, and in the second one here, it says
12
3
and a
hours
half.
brief done, then 9.5 to get copied, folded,
Mhm.
stamped, and labeled. That's what she don't understand, why is it so much more?
mhm.
I think that's what you're saying,
Right, that is what I was asking.
but I have no idea.
Paper, 150 sheets on the first one, 1,859 sheets of 11.5 by 7 on the second proposed. It wasn't just proposed by me either, Jody.
Well, she's the one, she said you asked her to do it for her, so that's what she did.
Asked her to do what?
Prepare how many hours it takes to do
I didn't
everything.
ask her that at all.
Well, then she must have lied to you.
Well, Jody, I'm not saying she's lying.
Okay.
The only one
Well,
thing I
I'm just
asked
telling you
her,
what I know, Carolyn.
the only thing I asked her, Jody, was if she knew if we could filter the addresses that we have, that are mailed out, so that we weren't double mailing to home residents. That was all I asked.
Did she respond to you?
She didn't.
Good.
She told me to get out of the office and not ask her questions like that unless you were
Well, that was probably about the third or fourth time you asked her. I don't know why you don't ask me.
I will ask you, Jody. I'm not
Thank you.
getting it on that anymore.
All right, let me, are you done?
Go ahead.
Or are you done? I'm just asking you.
I just said to you, I'm not gonna get in on that kind of discussion anymore with her,
Fine.
but I will talk with you. So go ahead, whatever you're gonna say.
Okay, in the meeting of February 15, 2010, it was decided, maybe I decided it, I'm not quite sure how that went down, but that we weren't going to be mailing them out anymore. Residents could pick up a copy. We'll have copies at the restaurants and the retails, and if residents wanted us to email them, we could do that. And we could also mail them out if they wanted to mail them. No, I haven't heard any complaints that
Well,
since 2010. I'm sure you have, because
I have.
you have.
but Cindy talked about it, I thought Al talked about it, that that was decided at that time, it was announced, basically, we didn't challenge it, but I am hearing about it, and I was looking to see.
Well, it's one thing to hear about it, but, I mean, unless you have numbers as to how many people are complaining, it doesn't carry that much weight, I wouldn't think.
Okay,
And
well,
we just
anyway,
went through the thing with the recyclable, how many people complained. We needed a percentage and all of that. Well, it's the same principle. If somebody's not getting something, some people are gonna complain about it. That's just the way people
Well, that was the reason
are.
that I did the survey. I thought this
Well, that's-
explained to me what's going on in other areas and why they do it that way. I was trying to look
the
at.
biggest thing, in my opinion, is the cost.
Right. But we don't have to spend that much, is what I'm finding out.
Well,
If we do the bulk
then I guess you need to get that in writing as how much it would cost, and then maybe we can make a decision, unless the board
Or
wants to
maybe
do
you-
something other
Or
than.
maybe your department does, because I get
Well,
shot down.
I don't wanna do it,
You know,
Caroline.
we can discuss this back and forth, but I'd like to interject the fact that, you know, since we put a counter on our email, you know, we have about 7,070,
But who's
you
doing
know, almost
this?
8,000, you
Who's
know, and
doing
that's in
that?
a year's time, well.
Are we are doing that, as they're putting it on there, they're doing that?
No, but I'd like to just finish my statement here
Sure.
for a minute.
Go ahead.
You know, I think we offer the newsletter, you know, right now as we do it in April, and we do it in, October, or May and
Well,
October.
we won't be if we mail them up with the tax bills, it'll be July and December.
I'm not saying that, I'm saying what we're doing right now.
Right.
And I'm thinking that we're very fair as far as people can go to the internet and look. We put them out in the local banks, we put them out in the restaurants, you know, where people can get them.
They're not out here now, they're not in this
Well,
building.
I guess I'm with Jody. I'd like to know how many people exactly are complaining. I mean, is it 3 or 4? Is it, you know, we got 500 people complaining we're not getting a newsletter? I mean, I kind of agree with Jody. I can't see spending $800 or $900 to send these out and people throw them in the garbage before they get them to the house. you
Well,
know?
the people I spoke with read them, they like the communication with the people, and all I'm saying is, Mike, that's what I was looking into, was we haven't been using bulk rate, and we can be, because everybody else is, and it would cost.
Well, I
more.
agree, and we could get a cheaper rate.
But I just brought that up as information.
Well, I guess what I'm saying, you know, if it isn't broke, why fix it? I mean, if we've only got 20, 30 people complaining about, you know,
Well,
why are we gonna spend?
Why don't you ask
where-
Cindy how she feels?
Well, Cindy's free to speak anytime she wants to. You know, Cindy, what's your?
Well, I have had probably 5 people tell me, not yesterday, but over a period of time, that they would like to get it in the mail. Is there any reason we can't put it on the website a question, when we put the briefs on? You know, when we put a new one on,
Absolutely, we could just add, if
a question, would you like to get it by mail as opposed
if you would
to,
like it mailed to you,
let us know.
But that sort of defeats the purpose of, we're trying to save money.
Well,
Anybody, if you request, if you put it out there, people are gonna say, yeah, I want it, why wouldn't I want it?
Well,
But we're spending a lot of money here. I mean, look at the chapel, look at the old town hall. There's a lot of money going out. And now there's another $2,000 for mailing out something that, what percentage of people would like to get it in the mail at a certain date? I mean, the biggest thing since I've been around is letting people know when the spring cleanup was. Well, there isn't any spring cleanup now, so they don't need to know that. The other stuff is just informational that doesn't make any difference what time of the year you get it or not.
well, I disagree with that, because
Oh,
you
okay.
have, if it comes out in
Right.
December, Jody, you've
I don't
missed the
care.
whole year,
I
so,
don't care either way.
okay.
Well,
I
you
mean,
know,
I'm not real excited. I mean, we're spending $130 right now to mail it twice a year and spend $2,600.
Well, we wouldn't be spending that if we did it right now. We
well,
could-
the other thing is, I've asked, people didn't complain, I mean, I have had 5 people complain, but I've asked a number of people, did you read it on the website? And they don't.
No, they do not,
I mean, that's,
even though it's there, they just.
Even though it's there.
I probably had a half a dozen people at least have asked me about it.
have you looked on the website and read it?
Nope, never been on there.
Well, anyway, it's a means of communication, it's a thought, something we did for years, so whatever the majority wants to do.
Well, I'm not in favor of $2,500, but on the other hand, on bulk mail is a different thing, but I would
It's
say
a
let's
whole
put it,
thing.
if we put the May one out and put it on the website, and, I mean, at least you're gonna see,
Well,
Some
we had
people.
decided as a group, I thought, we didn't take a vote on it though, but that we were going to put it, it was gonna be mailed with the tax bills. That makes it July and December.
well, I'm not necessarily in favor of December, because
I think that's
as you look
ridiculous.
at what happened with the trash thing, nobody read it in December, except for the people that weren't happy with it. And it got lost in everything else, so.
Well, if it's gonna go in their tax bill, I think they're gonna take a look at it. I mean, most people look at their tax bill.
What is the objection to going into tax bill? It's not the right time
It's
of
the,
year.
that's part of it, yes, because you don't have any of the announcements for the spring and summer activities going on, and then you could even include the fireman's breakfast in that one. And then the fall one, December is just a, it's, the year's over with, so
I have one question about the tax bills though. How many of those tax bills are going to banks?
go to mortgage companies, exactly, and do the people get
Is
them?
there,
Yeah.
is 25% of them going to mortgage companies or escrow or?
I don't know, probably 15 anyway.
And
Jody,
that's really a waste.
That's a waste. I
Jody,
mean, you don't put them in
the
those.
homeowners get a copy too, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a copy.
The homeowners get a copy too.
Mine goes through the mortgage company.
Every homeowner gets a copy of their tax bill? Even though it goes to the mortgage companies? Okay. All righty. So we're.
So are we, where are we with this? Are we just gonna table it till, I think what we need to do, I guess we need to get a solid cost of exactly what it's gonna cost to mail the thing out. Things that are important to get out to the people, I mean, we can put them on the website, we can do bulletins right here in the office, put them out in the in the public, in the restaurants, and in the banks, and the stuff, if there's anything really rushing that people really need to know about or quick, for 4 or 5 people complaining that they like it mailed, well, just call them here and I'll spend the money and I'll mail it to them
Well-
myself, if that's what they
Do
want.
you know how
But
many
I-
calls we've had on the trash thing since it's been over with?
Well, I know we've had a lot of calls.
Yeah, like why aren't we doing it? What happened to it?
Yeah.
Why? Anyway, so those, are we tracking them? No.
But we're not getting that kind of call on the newsletter.
Not that kind of calls, no.
I mean, I know an awful lot of people in the township, and nobody's ever asked me, why aren't you mailing the newsletter yet? Maybe I don't
They
hang
may
around
not
the right,
even know.
I might not hang around the right people, but I've never been asked that question.
Well, again, I surveyed the township, 75% of them send out a newsletter. They feel it's important to get information out to their residents, so.
Well, it isn't like we're not doing it. I mean, we're putting it on the
But they don't
website.
they put it on their website, but they also mail it,
I've got a question.
yeah.
This folding, we're doing all this folding by hand, correct?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a folder.
I was gonna say, don't they make machines for folding?
We
Oh, yeah, they
we
have,
one.
those companies have folding machines. You can take
I'm
it
not talking
down.
about those companies, I'm talking about Burtchville Township. We should have a good folding machine for, I've walked in and watched roofs
Yeah, right,
folding, water bills, and
right.
there's gotta be something Nate Lilly.
Well-
I mean, that's gotta,
I'm gonna tell you, anytime I've ever used a folding machine, it's not real,
It's not really accurate.
not really, well,
Really?
no, it's
I mean, you
a
can't,
pain in the neck.
is it?
You read more paper than
You'd
you
rather,
say.
you'd rather not have them, is that what you're saying?
Well,
I'm
I
gonna tell you, at
think
the bank, it was
if you
more
had
than,
6,000 to mail out, maybe you'd want it, but not for a week.
no, they jam, I mean, they're just a mess.
Oh. Okay.
Well, how does everybody feel? Do we want to table this until we,
Just put it on this internet way.
Put a question on the,
my thought on the deal is to do it the way we're doing it right now and get more information. If we want to get a newsletter out, let's bust one out here in the next week or so and get it out for the spring, put it on like we've been doing, and then get a feel for we could even put it in a newsletter, just as a questionnaire, how many people would like it to be mailed? And then we'll make our judgment off of that. If we get 500 or 600 people that say, yeah, we'd like it to mail, then we need to take another look at it. But right now, I would think that if we want to get our spring newsletter out, let's get one out, try to get it out within the, next 2 weeks and put that question in there. Just as a survey. How many people would like to have the newsletter mailed again, period. That's it. Contact
Sign
us.
out there too, when you have it, they put it on the sign out there, there's one here now, so go by.
Yeah, they could stop and pick one up, and they've always been available. I mean, it isn't that, we've always taken them to the banks, to the stores, and to the restaurants, and, so they're always available, and we always have extra here.
Well, we don't have any of it in the front foyer, we haven't had for quite a while.
As far as what?
Newsletters, they're not there.
Kathy always had them out there. We always had them out there.
I know, they were, but they're gone, they're all gone, we don't have any out there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. There's none out there right now.
That's right.
So, and that, that's my opinion. I don't know how the rest of the board feels, so go ahead and do it.
I'm okay with putting it on the website for May and put the question with it. And see what happens.
And if we get a big response.
And get a
that
bid
people
on,
want
or
mailed,
get a price on bulk mail and,
yeah, we can do all that, do all the research that we need to do. Because, like if we get 500 or 600 people that want it mailed, then we'll have to readdress it and see what we want to do with it. So I don't know, do we need to put that in motion, or do we just do as we're doing right now? I think.
Continue as you're doing, Jody read one, we did it in 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Jody, how do you feel about that?
Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, I think if you're gonna ask people if they want it, sure they're gonna want it. But if you don't, I think part of our job is to try to spend the township's money wisely.
Well, I agree.
So if you don't include that factor into it, then I don't think it's a true.
Well, ultimately, we're the ones that are gonna make the decision. I mean, if 100 people say, yeah, I'd like it mailed, and we're mailing out 1,500 or 1,600 of these things, we're gonna look at it and say, well, we're not gonna mail it for 100 people. We are or we're not. That's a decision that the board can make,
Yep.
We don't have to spend the money. That's, but at least we have a better view of how people feel about it, That's all I'm saying, so. If we want to,
Right, okay, I do have a question, Jody, on the third proposal that you gave, and maybe I'm just reading it too quickly and I'm not picking up, the hours were 5 instead of 3.5 up at the top, to get them done, and 3 to copy instead of a half an hour to copy, and it cost $466. I thought if we were putting it in with the tax bills, it shouldn't cost any more than it does to just print it and set it out here, does it? Why does it?
Yeah, I guess I'd have to talk to Justin.
You're gonna have more, you're gonna have,
Why are we gonna have more?
because I don't think you issue, when you do it the way you're doing now, how many taxpayers do you have?
Okay.
You don't have,
So obviously, we're not getting them to everybody because we're doing way less by just setting them out. Okay,
oh, you mean copies.
copies, right. Okay,
Well, what's our final resolution here? Is that what we're gonna do, keep on? Are we gonna do a newsletter for May or not?
Want to, go ahead.
that's it.
If you want to, go ahead.
You gonna put something in down, about the building department or something?
Well,
Do I need to make a motion that we go
Well,
ahead and do the newsletter?
what happened to the articles that we already wrote?
They're sitting here.
Well, then, there's no reason to have to write more articles.
Well, I don't think it was a question if it was, whether we were going to produce them, it was just how we're going to distribute them.
Yeah, I don't think that was ever a,
And when?
Yes,
And when?
correct.
When was, I asked her to give me back mine, because all mine was gonna be out-of-date news by the time it went out in July. So I would have to redo mine, if that's what we were gonna do. But, whatever, you guys make up your mind here.
Well, mine's certainly not out of date, really,
Good.
because it was on the channel.
Well, I guess my question is, and I'm gonna state this one more time, and then if I have to, then I guess I'll have to put it into a motion. But do we want to just go ahead and get one out in the next 2 weeks and proceed the way we are? Put the statement on it, would people prefer to have this mailed or, you know, and find out what's going on and get this out for the spring. And then we've got till October to figure out what we want to do with it again, so.
Do it. But just in the next 2 or 3 weeks. If you can't get it done in 2 weeks, make it 3 weeks.
Okay.
Do it out by the middle of May.
There you go.
Comment?
One brief comment.
If you're gonna use the website, then very few people are gonna see it. And if you put it the way that you've been doing it, then only those that have been picking it up are gonna get it. If you do one mailing and you do a survey, you've touched everyone. You can mail these out for as little as 14 cents a piece. I mean, I looked at that for the chapel on doing one mailing. And you can, the way that it works is you don't stamp anything. It goes to the post office and the carriers put it in everybody's box. It's really cheap to do. And so I don't understand why if you're trying to get information out to us, that we have to come in here to pick it up, or that I have to go to a restaurant to pick it up. It should come in my mail. And you only have about 100 people going on the website every week, and it seems to be the same people. So I like the website. I think it's something that we need to have, but it isn't doing what it eventually someday will do. So if you really want to touch the people, it can be done so cheaply. It doesn't have to be $2,000.
Well, if we sent it out in the taxes, it wouldn't be $2,000. I mean, do you have an objection getting it that way?
Do I? No. Not necessarily, no, but I do understand that if there's time-sensitive material.
Right. If somebody could tell me what's time sensitive, then I'd address that, but there's nothing that I think is time sensitive that goes out in Burtchville Breeze.
Why don't you make that, keep track of it? Why don't you make that one?
I don't want to make that motion. No, I just said to Mike, I said, why don't we just go ahead and get this ready in the next 2 or 3 weeks and do the bulk mailing, find out how cheap we can do it, and get an actual cost for doing it.
How long does it take to apply and get that done?
I don't think you have to apply for it. I think you just have to contact them and take it in. I'll check on it if you want me
Is
to.
that the same people that we mailed the other stuff?
Oh, no, they're too
No, no, no.
expensive. No.
No, you
That's
would
way
have,
expensive.
Some
Right
of
from the
it's
post
gotta be
office.
cheap for the trash you get on Mondays.
It's through the post office, Mike.
Oh, it's through the.
Yeah, no, that's expensive, the way we were doing it.
Well, we did that initially, didn't we?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, I remember Kathy taking it down to the post office.
I
When we first
don't
started.
remember that.
they didn't have this.
This is something new.
This is something fairly new, yeah.
And it wasn't 14 cents, I know, back then when we did it that way.
Well,
Grant Township is doing theirs right now for 15 cents, I know that. But,
all right, I would make a motion to do that.
to put one out now and ask people if they,
Yeah, you have most of the stuff together anyhow, I mean, yeah, put it out, just send it, mail it to everybody, and if you want to put it in there, if they're.
Are you happy receiving this by mail?
You want to keep that information.
yeah.
You read it.
Please respond.
Let's have somebody else write the question,
There's
Mike.
a lot, I know a lot of old people that don't use computers, they can't. get
Well,
it.
I'm sure.
The other thing is we have to put enough important stuff in it to make it worth mailing, right?
If you need
So you
volunteers
did make
to
a
fold,
motion,
I
right?
will
Well, I
volunteer.
guess what we need to do is we have a motion on the floor and,
With that 15 cent mailing
Yeah,
that we're talking about.
Right.
Or possibly 14, like Robert says.
cheapest as we can get.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And find out what the actual cost is.
right.
I guess,
It won't be
Well, that was the part that I was trying to find out, how many actual mailings that would go out. Do you know that, Jody?
No,
Okay, that's why I asked Jessica. I thought maybe she could
I mean, if it's
Tell me
1,200 hours,
through.
then I said we don't do it.
BSNA, but anyway.
Are you putting a limit on your motion then?
No.
I'll support Al's motion.
Okay.
Yeah, to send it out this one time and see where we are.
Okay.
And you'll still put it on.
So we have a motion on the floor that we're going to send out within the next couple of weeks, our newsletter to the residents. And
so who's gonna prepare this survey question in there?
Clerk's office.
No.
Clerk will take care of it. That's,
I can prepare the survey question. That's a simple one. You prefer to get it this way or the other way? I guess. Is it worth it, you know?
yeah,
Is there enough information in here to make it worthwhile?
I would put the options on it, website, or would you email,
You
or?
could even say, it costs the township this much, do you want us to send, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People have, then they don't,
Yeah,
well,
so
I
they
don't
know,
really
yeah,
care.
they know what it is, you know.
Okay. Thank you.
And we'll address this after we get the report back of what it is for the fall issue.
Okay, so we need a roll call.
Well, maybe I shouldn't speak, it's your motion.
Oh, I agree. Want to get it done.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to send out the newsletter within the next 2 weeks. All in favor, say aye.
You know, we're spending
Roll
money.
call. And I say yes?
Okay.
All in favor?
Oh, Mr. Ryland,
I'll bring you
Roll
one
call.
next time.
Mr.
We'll
Apple,
get it right here, yes.
Mr. Apple,
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie,
Yes.
Mr. Platzer,
No,
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Okay, moving on. Retail sales in the
Okay,
township
well, that was
hall.
another question of mine, and I think I know the answer to that already, but that was about if people are renting the hall to have Tupperware parties, pantry chef parties, Avon parties, whatever. We haven't experienced a lot of that, but I could see that happening if, we did in the past when it was free. Not recently, but it had been kind of an issue in the past, and I wondered if there was any thought on whether we wanted to rent it out for those purposes, or was it more for, do we have a say on that once because we're renting it, for one thing, and is it more for family gatherings, whatever?
Well, again, if I could address that, I think if we're renting it out and somebody's having a Tupperware party in there and selling a few $100s worth of Tupperware, that we shouldn't have any concern about it. We're there to rent the place out.
Well, we
Now,
are
again, if
money,
somebody's
but we're,
coming in and having a gun sale there on Saturday, that's another thing.
well, what's the difference? That's
What's the gun
retail.
sale?
Yeah, what is wrong with a gun sale?
Well, I just.
Wrong.
This is a wholesale.
Oh, okay.
No,
You're gonna have the NRA in here in our next meeting.
you know what my feeling is on it. If
I do.
a lady has a house and they want 30 or 40 people and they got a house that only hold 10, they want to have a Tupperware party over there and they want to pay the $50 and the $50,
It's a retail
Why-
sales,
why
and
are-
that's all I asked was,
Well,
are we?
You don't have a problem with it?
I don't have a problem with it.
You don't have a problem?
I don't have a problem with
But Pat can't have a gun swap in there.
that. No,
I would think
I mean,
you
what's
could,
the
Mike,
difference?
I don't think you could go there.
You gotta let them both
You gotta-
go or not. So,
Well,
we went through this years ago.
Yes, we
And
did.
I know we said no sales.
That's right, there was a lot of it, and it was not taken care of. Now, if they're paying
But
for
they're
it,
paying now, so I don't know.
that might make a difference, but they weren't taking care of it. It was a sloppy mess, and it was regular.
Well, you know what, my thoughts are, and I told you this, if I wanted to say, like Mike said, 30 or 40 people, and I can't have them at my house, I'm gonna have, and I wanna pay the money, then we ought to be able to do it. If it gets out of hand, then we re-examine it again. It's not a big deal. It's just, see what happens.
So it's any retail sales can be there other than alcohol, you're saying?
Well, are
If
we
it
looking at it
becomes
as
a
a
problem.
retail sales, or are we looking at it
It's a
as
home
people
party.
having
It's a
home party?
retail sales.
Carolina, it's a
you know.
home party.
Cindy, Minnie, it's a retail sales party. Those people are making money. And that's okay, if we want to allow it,
I don't see it as a big
The thing
deal.
is, the only person making money is the
Is
person
the
that's coming there and doing the show.
yeah, the demonstrator.
But, my wife having the party there, you know, they get
She doesn't have
free
to
gas.
clean
I
the
mean,
house, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've never seen
Just,
any.
like you said, it was a problem in the past, that was a long time ago, well, we're just getting going with this, and we have been renting it out, it's been, being
That's what we
used-
want.
It is what we want, it's, quite a bit, so,
But if you're gonna allow it, that's fine, but, you know, when they wanna have a train swap there, or gun swap, or, you know.
And if
Who
it
knows
becomes a
whatever it
problem,
is.
we'll address it again.
okay,
Just don't say no to one.
you can't.
Hey,
Alcohol is the only thing we can say no
You
to,
mean that
right?
wasn't a good?
Well, cigarettes
analogy?
maybe.
Gun swap?
Not with those two guys sitting there.
Not quite,
Robert too, probably.
whoa,
I was getting late.
anyway.
Okay. turn
Okay,
it
so
around.
we're gonna keep it as is until it, unless it becomes a problem, not until it becomes a problem. Is that what we decided?
It sounds good to me.
Okay.
You wanna do business?
New business. Resolution 214.04.21, bus millage renewal. That comes up this year
For the following 2 years, yeah. We have to vote on it in August, and it will be effective for the 2014, 2015, 2015, 2016. Let me read this. Yeah.
Are we safe if that happened now? 'Cause they're just taking another.
They're taking what we
Well,
taken.
right now.
They're accepting what
Well, I
we
mean, it was a mill when we started, and we cut it back.
Mhm.
That one of them, just.
Well, they're accepting what we take in. Apparently, the federal government's subsidizing.
Well, let
Well, if
me,
you raise it, I'm not sure that it would get approved, so.
I have to agree with that, Al.
yeah, I think we ought
I'll offer this resolution.
I'll
Or,
second.
okay.
we have a resolution.
One of us.
support. Are there any questions or concerns? I'd ask for a roll call vote.
Mr. Browett?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes. Okay, we have 2 amendments to do.
Through that one quick.
It always does. Are you talking amendments or the,
No, I'm just talking about,
yeah?
if
bus
I have to
bill?
do something quick.
Right, okay. These amendments should be quick. We do have to do them separately, though. We need to increase the blue water tax by 3,000.
I'll move to increase the blue water,
I'll second.
the 401 to the 801. Is that what you're doing, switching or? Or
Fee
increase
for
them
bus
both?
service, no. Yes. Rude.
What?
What are we doing here with this?
You're increasing the budget on the property tax income and also the expense.
And the expense, that's right. So it is 2 different ones.
The first one is the
Property
the
tax.
revenue,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Okay,
Okay, we have a motion on the floor,
we have a second.
then we have a second.
Is that roll call?
Roll call vote,
Right.
please.
Mr. Browett?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Clancy?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes. Next one is the fee for the bus service, 3,000.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
We have a motion and support. We have a roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Clancy?
Yes.
Mr. Browett?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes. The repair and maintenance of the chapel, we needed to increase that 11,400 to balance. These are all to balance.
I'll make a motion to go
I'll support that.
ahead. We have a motion and support. We have a roll call vote, please.
Right. Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Browett?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes. Okay, now we're into the bids.
Okay, we have a bid opening for cleaning of the township buildings.
We have 6, Mike, you think?
I think there are, I'm sure there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Oh,
That's all right. Okay. The first bid is Lori's Clean Right, 4399 Pine Grove Avenue, Fort Gratiot, Michigan. Quote for cleaning Burtchville Township buildings as follows. Township Hall, general cleaning once weekly. You want me to read all this? I mean, we've got 17 deals here to do on the general cleaning. You know.
that's, she's listing it by our
She- yeah,
specifications, so
by
I would
our
assume you
specs.
could just do the total.
I would think we could just do the total unless you get one that's really,
There's quite a few totals.
Well, there's quite a few totals, so,
well, I mean, she didn't give you just a,
well, I don't know.
These are gonna have to be reviewed, we're not gonna.
Well,
We're not gonna
no,
make a
they're-
decision
yeah,
tonight.
these
So,
all have to be.
Could we just open them and write down who they're from? Without putting all those numbers?
You don't have a bottom line on it, Mike?
that's what I was asking,
No,
is there a
there's no,
bottom
wait a
line?
minute, I don't think, no, there
I
was
don't
no
think there
bottom
would
line.
be, the way that was set up, would there?
There could be, there should be.
I see, no, there's no bottom line.
Okay.
No, she's just,
She
she's
has her
just doing them,
insurance.
and she has her certificate of insurance. And, well, these are just references. We could run through this if you want, it's up to you guys, but however you want to do it.
Well, if there's 6 of them, we'll be here all night.
Well, I don't
And
think
if we're
I'm,
not gonna
I don't
make a
think I'm that
decision
slow a reader.
No, but, I mean, if we're not gonna make a decision tonight,
I don't see how you can.
The thing is, we're gonna have, Al's right, we're probably going to have sole proprietors versus companies.
Well, yeah, you are gonna have.
So we're gonna have to look at that and weigh, you know.
Well, that's why I thought maybe if you just wrote down.
Well, why don't I just do that, let me just hit these, Township Hall general cleaning once weekly, okay?
Mhm.
I'll just hit that, and that's $70. Strip and wax floors twice a year, $150 per job. Fire hall and DPW every 2 weeks, $45, and that's, you know, general cleaning and, strip and wax floors twice a year, DPW $130 per job, fire hall $180 per job.
And that does not include the material, or does?
That's what
I'm
that's what I
thinking.
say, you know.
We're gonna have to look, yeah, we're gonna have to resolve that.
Were they bid with the same bid sheet, right?
Absolutely.
So
Same
why don't you just read the first, just the general cleaning, the $70
Okay,
for the,
Okay,
that gives us a
for the
start.
minutes?
okay,
Yeah.
for the minutes. Okay, vacuum all hall offices.
Oh, you don't need to read all that.
No,
I'm just saying, just read
the weekly
their
cleaning
weekly,
total.
their weekly quote.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, I don't
and
know
this-
that they're all done that way though, until we get them open.
Oh, I thought they were all doing.
Well, we gave them all
Well,
the
we gave them
same
all the bid sheet, but, you
bid
know,
sheet
whether they're doing it
requirement,
that
but how
way.
they fill them out, I don't know.
We'll see here.
Yeah, that'll take a little bit of work. For that.
Pardon?
It'll take a little bit of work to sort for that.
Yes,
After the briefing.
we just have to accept them.
Okay, this bid is from Nancy A. Talaski. Proposal for general cleaning Burtchville Township Hall. Weekly Township Hall cleaning $50. Bi-weekly Fire Hall cleaning $40. Bi-weekly DPW building cleaning $20. Quarterly outside windows washing $20 each cleaning. Twice a year strip and wax floors $250 each cleaning. This amount includes all 3 buildings. This is based on the township providing all cleanings. Okay, here, she wants us to supply all the cleaning supplies.
Which we have been,
Uh,
pretty much.
These cleanings are to be done as specified in the letter I received from Burtchville Township Hall. References, she has references, she must clean Grant Township Hall.
I think that's right.
So, you put the names on this because there isn't any names, that's Nancy for us.
Okay.
No, I got all kinds of here. Okay, this is K&M Cleaning, Applegate, Michigan. Okay. General cleaning for all Burtchville Township Hall and offices. Including quarterly services, windows. Windows. I think she's got everything listed down here that she was going to do. Quarterly windows. What to be done on Fridays, 8 a.m. The monthly total for cleaning the hall is $438.
For cleaning all three?
I believe that's for all cleaning businesses, township offices, includes the offices. Burtchville Township to supply all hand towels, hand soaps, and miscellaneous paper products. Also includes light bulbs, replacement bulbs, floor finishes, stripping products. Tile cleaning.
How much was it a month?
This is just telling what she's gonna do.
$438.
$438 a month.
But that's for all three.
That's for all.
Right.
And she's including the window washing and things there,
That's
which
when to wash it, yeah.
everybody else has broke it down a little differently, so that's gonna
Well,
have
that's
to be
what
looked
we need to look
Yeah.
at, because they're all gonna be broken down a little bit.
Okay,
That's K&M cleaning.
okay. No certificate?
No certificate.
Neither, the last one was last.
She is a sole proprietor, she probably wouldn't have to have one. They, I think, have to have one, and I'm sure that they do, because, they do the bank.
Oh, that over here? Okay. I think that's just the husband and wife, isn't it?
I don't know, I haven't talked to him. We just mailed it out to him, I got the name from the bank, asked them who they have, and, I don't know, I've never met them.
Well, I've seen them at different times.
Okay.
It's just- I assume it's like, it may not be.
Okay.
Okay, this is from Jennifer Doan. Clean Township offices, $70 per cleaning. Fire hall, $50 per cleaning. DPW, $25 per cleaning. Strip and wax floors as needed, $170 per person per cleaning. And DPW building, $70 per person per cleaning for stripping the floors.
How much was the DPW bill?
This is for stripping the floors,
Well,
was
just
$70.
the general,
25.
25, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's road commission stuff.
What's that doing?
Maybe you don't have 6 bids, there you go. Because I
I think
asked
that's all too.
I asked him for
Yeah,
that.
it is.
so-
I wonder why it wasn't sealed. Yeah, that's road commission stuff.
I had asked him for that.
Jack's looking for a
Okay.
job, too?
Yeah. Right.
Yay.
Jack must want to clean.
I kinda like that guy that did it last, the guy that did it last week was pretty good.
Yes, he was. Had a lot of water
And
he used.
AccuClean Contracting.
Jeez.
This is Vincent Road, Klein Township, Michigan. Burtchville Township calls to provide all cleaners, all paper towels, hand towels, and toilet tissue, and all trash bags, and strip and wax at the time of service. Costs $1,600 a month. Strip and wax bill would be $2,200.
Who's that?
K&M.
No.
AccuClean.
Or yeah.
Trustees will do it for that.
Geez, yes. You and I both do
You
it.
sure you don't want to submit a bid, Mike? Sure you don't want to submit a
I
bid?
think
Yeah,
I'm
Mike, you did a good job.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a couple weeks. That cost, you know,
Yeah.
when do I pick up my check?
Gotta submit it.
It's in the mail.
Let's see. Well, this is quite an eye-opener.
We can get that on the Friday night, Friday day.
There's a lot of customers.
Everything else is sounding
So,
pretty much close to same.
Like, pretty
yeah, they were pretty much in the ballpark. This is,
Hmm?
this one, I'm
Should
sure.
we accept the
This
bid?
is, yeah, this is all.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, Mike's doing it, we might as well sit on it for a few months.
Yeah,
Not all
right.
You'd
day.
have been here
You'd
the
like
other
to
day
be
when I
there.
dumped a whole bucket of water out there on.
You do it long enough, we can be able to breathe on every month.
Yeah, but the floor's not that good since I.
That floor hasn't looked that good in a long
It hasn't
time,
looked
Mike.
that
You
good,
did a
you're
good
right.
job. Thank you.
His wife must have.
Okay, those bids are accepted and we'll take them under consideration. Moving on.
Well, do we want to set up a committee of two to kind of review and compare
Yeah, who would like to volunteer to review those?
of the board members, you and Al?
Yeah.
How's that?
You and
You're
Al.
good, yeah, you're good
I
at
was thinking
that.
you and Cindy.
No, that's okay.
You and I can.
I'll be glad to
You
do
and Mike
it.
can.
It doesn't matter to me.
I can too.
Who's gonna do it then?
Cindy and I.
Okay. Good.
Okay, that's done. DPW maintenance contract for 2014 and 15. J&J Construction.
L&J.
Or L&J.
They've been doing it
It's
for
the same,
several years.
it's the same price as it's been, they have not increased it at all. It's the same contract that we have this year, just extended it into next year. Do we want to read with them?
I move that we accept it.
We have a motion to accept L&J Construction bid.
I'll second.
And we have a second. Is there any questions or comments or concerns?
I think he's done a good job for us, and he's always right there
He
when we
does,
need
he
him.
does a good job.
Speaking of, I saw him the one night down on Lake Shore, and then the next day I saw it was all dug up and barrels and fixed.
He's right there when we need him, and he's held his price for how many years now? Same
Oh,
price
it's
for a long
been-
time.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept L&J Construction's bid for maintenance for DPW. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes,
Mr. Brylant?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes. Thank you. Sign it? Yeah.
Mark, do you have a copy of this contract,
We need to do that.
this work contract?
No, I have a file.
A copy of the Worth contract? It's right in there, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it
Yes.
says Mark if he has a
Mark
copy of
if
this.
he
No, Carolyn and Mike, they both called me and said that there were no changes to it other than the modification of the date. So they haven't changed anything other than the dates there.
It actually looks better printed now.
Huh?
It looks printed better.
Well, thank you.
It really looks.
Are they up to
It
date,
looks a lot easier to read.
It's what up to date.
their contract?
That's the new proposed contract.
Right,
We'll go to them.
but are they up to date?
Yes, they are
At
up
this
to date.
point?
Financial aid, you're
Yes.
asking.
Yes.
Did you ask?
Right, Jody? They're up to date?
As far as I know.
Yeah. Well, I checked a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they have 120 days
They
to
were up to date on
to
everything.
pay bills. So
Right,
yeah, at
but-
that time they
They've
were.
actually been pretty good. Yeah. So,
The only thing is, we're way less than Lexington on their contract that they're asking for. I don't know how they're doing with their negotiations, but
Well, they're constantly fighting every month up there.
Oh, yeah, they're battling
Good job for
constantly.
fair price, and there's no hassles, no headaches. They're constantly battling, fighting, threatening, whatever they're doing up there.
Now they're threatening
For,
to
they run
cancel
about
out first.
400 calls in their township a month, well, we run about 10 or 12 a year or something.
Yeah.
So, it's a whole different speed of what they do.
Oh, yeah, they do a lot more volume up there
Yeah.
than we do. Well, I guess somebody'd like to make a motion to accept this contract and send down for signing to Worth Township.
I'll move to accept that. Are we doing the amended supplement, all, the whole package, correct?
right.
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion to accept the contract. Do we have a second? I'll support it. We have a motion and a second. We have a
Roll call.
roll call vote, please.
Mr. Brylant?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Flannery?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
You want my copy? or do you-
I have a copy.
Okay.
Sign. Okay.
Chuck's Lawn Service.
I move we accept that.
We have a motion to accept Chuck's Lawn Service.
Support.
We have support.
That's for all three, right?
For all three,
Chapel, the cemetery.
right,
And
right,
the library.
that's right.
And actually four.
Any place we have one. Is there four of them?
And the memorial.
And the memorial, that's right.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay,
And Brylant, second, right?
correct.
Yeah.
So we have a motion and a second. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
We can. Mr. Flannery?
Yes.
Mr. Brylant?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes. The SWAT tech proposal just came in after I put the packets together, but he's at the same price as he has been for the last 3 years, 3 or 2. And we've checked with ABC in the past, and they couldn't match that price.
I move to accept SWAT techs.
I'll support. We have a motion and support to accept SWAT Tech's proposal
For spraying the buildings.
for spraying the
For
buildings.
bugs and
And
whatever.
that includes the township hall, the chapel, the DPW building, and the library.
Mhm.
We ask for a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Mr. Brylant,
Yes.
Mr. Apple,
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie,
Yes.
Mr. Flannery,
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Okay.
Just review Maryland to do.
Yeah, basically, and I think we'll drop those down because we'll go into executive session to do those. Supervisor's report. I really don't have I am this week going to a conference in Frankenmuth, it's a supervisor, statewide supervisors association conference. And it's usually a pretty good conference because all the supervisors get together and they discuss what's happening and how things are going and problems that they have. And so it's usually a pretty good conference. So I'll be gone Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for that. So. Caroline, clerk's report?
Yeah, just that, we just had our workers' comp audit, we got another issue, we had off and on, we've got to make sure that, okay, we have one company that did work for us on the the Old Town Hall, and that we didn't have an up-to-date certificate on, so we end up paying, the township pays for that workers' comp charge, and we just received the bill. We have to have, before we have anybody working on anything in the township, either a certificate of insurance or a sole proprietor's form if they qualify for that. And we just have to have it before any work begins at all. We can't do that again. It's cost us for a couple of years now in different companies. But anyway, and these companies, I know, things have been tough. They let that workers' comp one go and...
So what company was it and what was the project?
S.R. Williams, it was the Old Town Hall.
It was the sidewalk.
For $2,900 and some dollars, whatever that included.
That would have just been, well, that was labor material, I think.
They charge us for labor and material, they don't sort out. Right. Okay, just, a heads up on that again, we just have to make sure we follow that. Okay, a purchase policy for the township. It's been recommended in the MTA magazine, I'm sure you've all read it, and Mike's been hearing about it too at the supervisors' meetings. I think it's time to review it, our policy. It hasn't been done in a long time, and it never hurts to review policies, so does anybody want to take that on, take a look? I mean, it wouldn't take that long, see if there's anything that we should change, and maybe not. It might
I think, and just to interrupt you just for a second, I think it'd probably be a good policy for us to just go through that policy book completely.
I agree with you, Mike, but
Yeah.
that's one that we might need to get done.
Well,
before
sooner,
the-
that's.
We want to start with
yeah.
that one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I don't, I've been through it, not all of our
Well,
policies.
I don't think it's that far out of date, but I mean, it's something that,
But it's just something to review, and so, who would like to do that? And bring it back to the board. And then we can, everybody doesn't have a policy manual, do you? I can make,
No.
make copies of it, I guess.
oh,
and-
yeah, I think it
Yeah, we can kind of spread them out, the ones we have, and everybody can look at them and make suggestions.
It should be copied, every employee's supposed to have a copy. Every employee's supposed to have a copy.
Of the,
Employee policy they have?
Policy.
not the personnel policy, we've already done that.
Which
This
one
is
do
the
you want?
business
Purchase.
policies of the
Purchase.
township, like purchase,
Oh, okay.
policies and whatever. The administration's
Is
policy.
there a lot of pages to it?
There's a few, but, we can share ours, and people can go through and make notes of what they,
There isn't that.
There-
Can't
pardon?
come onto your computer, everybody's
There isn't that.
I don't even know if it's on the computer. I'd have to look. Anyway. Okay, so who's gonna work on the purchase policies? Purchase policy, it isn't that much. I'll make copies for whoever wants to do it.
I think Paul should look at it and just, if we want something to change, try to get the next board meeting.
Okay.
That's why I was asking how many pages it was, there's not too much to copy.
No, it's not a lot, it's,
The whole book is, there's a few, but,
Put it on our agenda, and
okay,
if we have any questions, we can ask him between now and the next board meeting.
okay.
Is that?
yeah, that's fine.
Is that the whole book or just?
That'll be
Just-
everybody's
just
job.
the purchase
That's
policy to
everybody's
begin
name,
with.
Not just.
Put your own.
We're doing the cleaning, you do the purchase.
Okay, moving on. Jody, treasurer's report?
No, I don't have it.
Okay. Trustee, Cindy?
Couple things. One, a clock at the old hall. There's no clock.
It's there, it just isn't.
It
put up.
doesn't work.
Has any batteries been put in?
Those batteries have been, you can ask Jane, new batteries, old batteries, it works for, and then it stops. It just click, click, click. It's a crappy clock. Plain and simple.
Something we just bought?
Yeah, and
A few years ago, I think.
It's probably,
China.
it's a cheap clock.
No, because the other one was wired in.
The other one was wired in and it didn't work.
Right, so they bought one too, it was probably a cheap one.
It was a cheap clock. It would be nice to have a clock in there. Two, there wasn't anything on the chapel on the department reports. I'll just give you a little one. The electrician was there today. Moved the light at the flagpole, put plugs in.
Is there a bulb in it now?
I don't know. I wasn't there, Gary was over there. I just know he moved it.
Well, we should know when we leave here if there's a bulb in it, right?
Well, probably. Put couple temporary switches because we have different switches going in, but we needed some switches, to be able to use it. It's ready to be primered, drywall primer. The crawl space has been insulated. They did that on Friday, I think, Thursday or Friday.
And we already got the bill for that.
Okay, well, I know it was done. So they'll know. Right? The other thing is, Mike, when we were at MTA conference,
yeah.
and we talked to Ruth on the
Codified book?
codified book, have we done anything?
No, but we're gonna put that on the agenda next
Okay.
month.
Okay, those are my three things.
Okay, yeah?
Just, one question I was gonna ask, Cindy kind of hit on it, about the chapel's ready for primer.
Primer.
Is that something that the chapel people are doing,
Yep.
or do we need to get somebody to do that?
No, I think they're going to, Gary and Mike talked, and Gary talked to Jim, and Doug has been gone,
Yeah,
because Jim's gone, but Doug and Gary and Frank and Mike has stuff they can
Okay. Yeah,
paint stuff.
I think Jim's gone too. End of May, I think.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
he's
You and
gonna
I
be
are.
gone. He's-
Huh?
You and I are.
First of
Yeah,
June?
end of May, first part of June, somewhere in there,
They're gonna be working on
I
it.
think if they didn't have the confidence that they could get the job done, they would ask to have somebody else do it. I think they can do it.
Oh, I think they.
Oh, I'm sure they can.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know if that was,
I mean, I have confidence in those volunteers, they're really dedicated to.
yeah, they did the ceiling.
Yes.
I acquired it.
Well, no, we hired the ceiling.
We did?
Yes, we did.
That was sprayed, wasn't it? Or no?
Yes, but it was somebody that did
Right.
it. And it's only been primered, it won't get painted till we're
Yeah,
done with.
yeah, well, I didn't know if
Yes.
it was something we needed to.
We have a meeting the second Tuesday of May, and that'll be,
And my only other question was, is there any of those road commission things that we need to be approving? To, like the limestone or anything, before our next board meeting?
I have no idea, I wish I'd known when we had this all.
Yeah, he didn't call me that.
Well, he's got, I think he's got 2 loans here now. Cemetery,
Jack,
for the park.
2 for the cemetery and 3 for the park. Is that enough now, 2 for the cemetery? He thought it was, but,
It should be.
we have dolomite, 5 loads.
Yeah, we should approve that stuff, shouldn't we?
We have 30 loads of various gravels, limestone walls, from, see wall sheet for locations, why is he? Okay. 1 is for the township roads and the other is for the park and the cemetery. $4,347 for the park and the cemetery.
Huh?
Seems a little much. Here, Al.
Yeah. Let me look at that.
Seems a little much. The chloride, I guess we better approve too, Helen. Because we're not.
Yeah, we should approve that because
The
if they
chloride
got,
needs to go on right
Okay,
after the
okay.
stone.
This one is the various on the roads. This one, I think we're going for 26,000.
Yeah.
Second floor. I think we need to approve all four of these, yes, right now, because they're grading the roads.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, the sooner we approve
I
it,
didn't know we had
the
this.
sooner we get it done,
Yeah,
so.
I called Jack to get it, and I hadn't seen it. It got mixed up with the bid, and obviously.
That's the same amount that chloride they put on twice, right?
Right,
They're doing two lines.
yeah, that's what they've always done.
Yeah.
So, I guess we add that to the agenda.
What are we paying a ton?
I got it written down. I know.
It doesn't tell you that?
Well, I just took this at 16.72 a ton. We're not paying that much. I mean, that's spread and shade.
I think it was up from last year.
Oh, it was only up 25 cents or something like that from last year.
Yeah, you were on the road run, you told us that.
Yeah, I just can't remember what it was.
Let me go look, see if I can find it.
So, that's what you
He's
got.
got 1,560 ton here.
What's that, 26,000?
26,083 ton.
How many ton?
1,560.
Yeah, that's 16.72 a ton.
That's what I thought it said 16.
$16.72 a ton. It's the same in the park and the cemetery as it is on the road.
Okay, that was in there, that was in this booklet, right? Operations. I think it's in here, I'll look in this, you look in that.
Yep, 16.72 a ton, or 16.50.
Phew. Everything's gone up, right?
Yep. So, it doesn't.
Al has one.
We had some estimates on, I don't think you guys saw these, just while she's doing that, we had some estimates on the culvert replacements. On Norman Road is $100,900.
Yeah, we had them last.
You had that?
We had them last week.
Okay, yes, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not on the agenda for this year.
Hopefully.
Next year, maybe?
Yeah.
But that's, you know, that's the big one down there. That-
Yeah, I know, but even
That's
the other ones,
That's had that 5-ton weight limit now
Yes.
for
but the,
25 years probably, so.
the one on the, on Babcock Road north of Harris is 45,000. But that's a big job, too.
That one probably get done before
Norman Road,
yeah.
it's pretty dangerous, isn't it?
I think it is.
I do too.
I think that's very dangerous.
I think that one is particularly dangerous. We had a bus go off of there one time, and we were very lucky. Or the road commission was very lucky, I don't know which, and we were all lucky.
Grant conflict.
Okay,
Maybe.
it's our side of the road, Al.
Give them that road.
Yeah, true. Yeah, tell him that, how lucky he is. Exactly. Okay.
I would think we should go ahead and approve those. I mean, we should approve them.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you for bringing that up.
Well, I'm glad that they were in that.
Yes, in the bid package.
We
Divine-
can
divine
approve these
power.
separately.
Divine intervention,
I-
that's why they.
It's up to you guys.
Probably have to approve them separately, don't we?
I think we should.
Probably wouldn't hurt.
I move to approve the one for the park and the cemetery, $4,347.20.
I'll second.
Because I wrote it down.
Thank you. Just a second. We don't have Ruth here, I got it ready.
She's coming.
4,300 and what?
4347.20.
Okay. Okay, that's Ruth. And,
We have a motion and a second to approve $44,374.20 for the park and the cemetery. Do we have a roll call vote, please?
who seconded it?
I second it.
Apple? Okay, Mr. Browett,
Yes.
Mr. Apple,
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie,
Yes,
Mr. Platzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Tremble, yes.
The second is the
The roads,
roads, 30 loads, 1,560 ton, 22 8 stone, $26,083.20.
I'll make a motion to accept the 30 loads, 26,083.20.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Yes.
We have support, we have a roll call vote, please?
Mrs. Minnie,
Yes,
Mr. Browett,
Yes.
Mr. Platzer,
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
No. Yes. Mrs. Tremble, yes. Sorry, I thought I had the names messed up. Okay.
We can wait on the cars for a couple months.
Yeah, you sure can, Al. You're gonna move over to my house?
At least till you get.
or down to Roberts.
At least
We
till,
don't need to do the chloride
At
in
least-
those back roads yet.
at least till you get the salary, instead of Frisk, chloride.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
Chris.
circle that when we send it back, okay? Okay.
Okay, the next one would be the first, can we do both these chlorides together or just one? Well, let's do it separately.
Yeah, let's do it separately because it's a first and a second.
Okay, the first chloride, $10,066. We have a motion?
I'll move to accept that.
Okay, we have a motion, I'll support. Do we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Browett?
Yes,
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes,
Mrs. Tremble, yes.
and I move to do the second chloride,
and I'll second.
same price.
We have a motion and a second to approve the second chloride for $10,066. Roll call
Yes.
vote, please.
Mr. Browett?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes,
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremble, yes. Okay, we need to get signed and get sent back because they are working on the roads.
We'll get them on tomorrow.
Okay,
Do you want me to sign them right
if you want to. And then,
now? Well, let's get them.
okay,
I'll sign them.
okay, after the
The,
meeting.
we're all set with the auditor, right? We approved that last one, didn't we?
The auditors,
For the,
township?
yeah, for the coming in, we approved that, right?
that was just our.
Yeah, we had a 2-year contract now.
Okay, okay.
And they are coming in the 1st of June. Next
Yeah.
week, by the way, BSNA is doing, this week, BSNA is doing a remote thing with changing over our software. Did we already announce that? Wednesday morning, nobody will be able to access anything, but we will be able to in the afternoon. And then next week, is it next week?
Just BSNA you can access, the rest of our computers.
Yeah, the rest of us, okay. And when are they coming in to do the training? Next, the following?
No, in May.
In May? Okay. Okay.
Okay. We want to do the extended public comment?
Right.
Any
Yeah.
extended public comment? Yes, sir?
If you want to write this down for the mailing, it's go to USPS.com/everydoordirectmail. And you don't need a mailing permit, you don't need, it'll give you the whole thing.
What is it,
You don't need
USPS?
USPS.com/everydoordirectmail. You don't need to put anybody's addresses on there or anything. There are some size requirements that you have to work within, but they just go, you pick the zip codes that you want or the neighborhoods,
problem with that is they're gonna be going to Fort Gratiot also.
They
They're
may
gonna be going to
it-
Detroit, they're gonna be going all over the state.
Well,
Well, a lot
they
of ours
can't go
are,
all over the state because it's by a zip code.
No, but I'm saying
you
if they
can
do
go-
it, they would.
They have a map, let me explain it
Yeah,
quickly, okay? They have a map, you pick the neighborhoods. So it's not like picking 48059 where they go everywhere 48059 does. You pick the neighborhood
That you want to go.
that you want it to go in. So there are neighborhoods within Burtchville. That's how it's done.
Okay.
That's why it's cheap and that's why it's effective.
which would basically be the two, I think there's 2 mail carriers in Burtchville Township.
right.
So it'd be those 2 mail carriers.
That's who would get, and they just shove them in the
But,
box.
but, the other problem is gonna be all our summer people, that their tax bills go to their homes in Detroit, Birmingham, wherever, they're not gonna get one. Most of them don't have mailboxes up
Well, they're not getting them now. 'Cause they're not stopping
No,
in here.
they-
and-
here. No, but if
And they're not-
we're mailing them to all the taxpayers,
Well,
then they're getting them. But,
Yeah, I mean, you just have to look into it. You
Mhm.
know, I think it could be very affordable to do. Especially if you're printing them off here or printing them off someplace else and folding them and doing them. We've mentioned several times about, we've talked to this many people and talked to that many people. I'd really like to see the calls tracked for whatever it happens to be. Or if somebody talks to you when you're out and about, have them call the office and/or have them fill out a form so that we know how many people are asking about a particular thing. It's kind of silly to say, well, 300 people wanted this and 5 people wanted that, when we really don't have any clear. It'd be so easy just to say, there's a form at the office, or call the office, and start monitoring those things. You can also, on your mailing, you could build a small database if you wanted to, although if you're mailing them out to everybody, you don't need to. But if you only want 500 to go out, it'd be cheaper to do a database of people who want the things. The other thing is, you know, Jody, I know you're concerned about expenses. The cemetery has not had an increase in I don't know how many years. Caroline's brought it up for years and years and years. I appreciate that, but, you know, we got all kinds of money going into that chapel, which are never gonna recoup.
Right, I agree.
And the
the
grave
old town
sites
hall,
that are
too.
out there, and the old township hall. The grave sites that are out there are going for less than half of any other township around here. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. We have no, anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you.
the, just a comment about the buildings. Yes, we have put money into the buildings, but my feeling is we need to maintain our buildings or tear them down. And that was the next step with those 2 buildings,
Yeah,
basically, was
I
gonna
get it.
happen. Now, we've had a lot of volunteer money going into the
I
chapel.
understand that, but we've also had a lot of township money going in.
Yes, we
We've
have.
had a considerable amount of township money going
The
in.
township money that went into the old town hall came from the water department's rent.
Okay,
That was all charged, you know, at one shot. And so that's not money that came out of basically the general fund. That's the only time we could ever use the water money for, and so that was paid for by the water department because of, you know, the rent, plus we had to tear that down, whatever. The chapel, yes, I agree, but I also want to mention that the next step with this cemetery preservation group are the gravestones, the old gravestones, and we've talked about that before.
Mhm.
That's something that they want to achieve and accomplish.
and I agree, but when you're doing it as a volunteer, and then you're coming in here and saying, hey, we just raised our taxes by 1%, now we want, you know, a third of that to go to the chapel, when it's not gonna recoup any of that money whatsoever. You know, and I keep getting charged for it, I'm probably never gonna use it, because I can't seem to get a family plot out there,
That's
you know.
not easy, no.
The plots are just too cheap, period. For anywhere, they're just way too cheap. And if you need some money to start doing some things, you know, the perpetual fund is next to zero. And,
We
you know,
can't
you
use
just-
that until we sell every lot. Did you know that?
You can't use what?
The perpetual fund for anything until we sell every single lot. That's a state law.
Well, you use the interest.
The interest,
You
and
can
you know
use
what
the
interest is
interest,
right
right.
now, so we're not getting any money on that.
Well, no, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. I mean, you
It
know, you
shouldn't
have to
what,
plan
raise-
for 20 years from now, not next week. You know, that's why a perpetual fund is there.
We have it.
So, I know, but it's not what it should be.
It doesn't, it does not support the
No, it
cemetery.
should, and so if you're gonna support, help support the cemetery, if you need money, you wanna do a mailing, you know, you need $400 or $500 to do a mailing, double your prices out there, get them competitive. I mean, that's not even competitive. That's getting it to the lowest of what the next county is. I mean, you know, I did a study on that 3 or 4 years ago. You're just practically getting them on the way.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I just want to say, I do agree with Carol Ann about the newsletters, because I know a lot of people will not stop, they don't come in here. And older people, it's amazing how many of them, and even some younger people, don't use the internet very much at all, or don't even have it. I know quite a few people who don't even have it, older ladies and stuff like that. And I think it really does mean something to them to get that. I know I like to have a newsletter or some way of seeing what's there, because stuff is going on with the trails or with the beaches or different things like that. And I would be willing to fold papers. I did it for my church. I'll fold them for free, you know, I'm a volunteer. Or I think we could get a couple volunteers to do that if that's a really significant cost. It doesn't have to be, you know,
It's,
but people do like this.
we just have to make sure what we're putting in there is significant
Right.
to put out.
But I think that was a good idea to put a survey into. Maybe people don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
It's good. But people do need to know what's going on in the township. And another thing, I was thinking you could also use that signboard also for other things more too. Maybe, you know, even to tell them the newsletter's there or it's out
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, then I guess we will, somebody make a motion to adjourn and we'll
I
come
will
to
make a
special
motion to
session.
adjourn and go into executive session.
Okay, we have a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed?